Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Today is our second section for the sharing from BK and Li Fang about the Power Platform. Today, both of them will share about the Power Automate, and about how we can actually use the Power Automate to create the automation flow, to actually automate certain process, like mail submission and do some mail reply, or even do some data insert and so on. So it's a very interesting tools, and we can actually help the customer, help the users, with the Microsoft 365, with the capability to perform a lot of automation process. So I will pass the section to VK, and he shall start with the sharing. And after that, we'll also have the demo showing from Li Fang as well. All right, over to you, VK.
Yeah, thanks, Cole. Guys, just give a few seconds only. Yeah, all right. Yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah. All right, I'm back. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Yep. All right, and welcome to everyone again on the Power Platform training. This is the second week, as the Cole say here, right? Today we will be the sharing on the Power Automate. So previous week, actually is the last week, right? We have been shared the Power Apps here. So this week actually we would like actually says how the Power Automate to help you actually on the business lah. All right. Without a delay, just let me show you the screen here, right? Myself and Li Fang here lah. All right. So if those actually is the first time join the tonight the section, all right. So just the brief introduce about ourselves here lah. All right. So as stated here.
VK, you haven't shared your screen.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys. Okay. You guys can see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, can.
Okay, thanks. All right. So it's you guys can see actually is my slide here, right? Okay, so that actually is just a brief introduce about ourselves here. So my name is Lim Boon Kok here. Call me BK. Right. I'm focusing more on the cloud solution here lah. All right. So basically, it's from the Azure cloud, M365, also to the Power Platform. Yeah. All right. Definitely, you guys also can see I'm also the Microsoft certified trainer since year the 2012. All right. Involving also much on the Power Platform. I think that is a pre-COVID. That also is a demanding from the business, the user or business solution actually is how can help business or even the organization use this Power Platform to improve right productivity and also the business the application integration. On the right hand side, yeah, we have Li Fang, right? So she actually had more than 10 years actually experience, yeah, specifically or specialized in this the data analytics and the reporting. Okay, she also actually is the experience and the expertise on the data cleansing, data quality analysis, and data transformation as well. In other words, actually is the relevant to the data, like example, the Power BI tools. Yeah, how can use this also Power Platform and helping on the data, the integration as well here. All right. Okay. Now this jumping to the second slide here. All right, following the slide here. So tonight actually we like sharing on the Power Automate, right? So what is the Power Automate? Yep. Right. When we say the automate, right, whether actually is from the Power Platform, generally also to those the IT as well here, right? Anything actually is the doing on the manual way, right? Everything in the paper, right or not? Yeah, you would like actually to transform it into the automated way, right? So that actually is the keyword here, the Power Automate here. So if you all guys actually probably can see the slide here. So here actually is automate and model your business process across your apps and the services. So you may have a lot of application, you may have a lot of services, right? As I mentioned earlier, in manual form. Right now, use this Power Automate help you, right? Transform into the automated way. So from a simple automation to the advanced, so you can be actually from a simple example. Let's say you have the Excel, right? So how you want actually to retrieve each record from the Excel here. Maybe this record what you retrieve insert into another the data. So that could be the simple one. It could be also simple actually you want to query weather example. And what is the weather today, right? Yeah, all right. So of course, come to the here, let's say advanced here, right? You can come to the branch. When we say the branch, probably you guys can be see on my right hand side here. Basically, is a condition, right or not? So branch you actually in terms of what is a condition, they go to the if my condition actually is true, go to yes. If my condition actually is a false, I go to no. Yep. All right, and many more. Yep. Sometimes I also in the class I also mentioned, right? Power Automate actually is kind like actually it's a program, right? Not, but even in the UI, right? But later part I will share with you how it looks like. But from the PowerPoint, the slide here actually already show you how it looks like. Yeah, how it looks like from the UI perspective. Yeah. Okay. Power Automate definitely actually we can do actually is to trigger the action, run the approval. As I here, you probably can see this slide here. Basically, is looking for the start approval and get the notification. Example, approval is approved. And actually, I will notify the requester or notify via the mobile or via the email. Even actually it can be the post the message to the teams if they say actually you have using Microsoft Teams here. Okay, right. Okay, now, so here to give you actually is the Power Automate overview lah. So how actually can I use, right, Power Automate? Yeah, so basically we can be so-called design or we can create a Power Automate flow, yeah, via the browser. Okay, so generally you can actually go to the URL. Later part I will share with you how actually you can come to this actually is a designer. We call it a Power Automate designer here, right? And of course, when actually you design the flow here, right, you can actually use the mobile apps here, right, to view. Even actually it can be approved. Even actually you can run or execute the Power Automate flow, right? So a workflow actually is created in a Power Automate is called a flow. This is the whatever the here actually it, like this example here. So we call it actually is a flow. So this flow actually is contain each the step. Like here we don't call a step lah. Yeah. Basically later part I will share with you what actually we call, right, how to differentiate in terms of each the step here lah. Yeah. All right. So we can have up to the 250 the action per flow here. All right. Meaning actually is when I run my flow here, I contain the multiple the action. So maximum actually they can support up to 250. So definitely the Power Automate also allow you to perform a loop. When we say loop, just like I can looping in terms, they say example, I looping a table, right? They say example, I had the table. This is actually multiple row, so I can loop it, right? Each actually of the record of the table here. So the table again, you can be Excel, it can be the SharePoint, and so on, right? So even actually you can use this actually is a one-click approval via the email. Example, they say you have the approval required the HOD approve or required someone, right? Then actually you can use the email actually just one the button actually to click to approve it. We have the over the 600 plus actually pre-built the connector here, right? So when we say the connector, last week actually we talked about the Power Apps. We should say actually whether you are Power Automate, whether you are Power BI, whether you are Power Apps here, right? Everything we want to talk to the data, right? Everything we want to talk to the data or services. So we must actually have the connector actually connect to the data here, right? So same apply to the Power Automate here. So we have the over the 600 here, all right? If they say those the built-in the connector not available to you, right? Similar again, whether you are Power Apps, Power BI, you also can create your own custom connector. So when we say the custom connector here, right? Similarly, actually you can use the API, and actually you can wrap it as a custom connector. Usually this will be happen if they say built-in the connector not available to you. Of course, the connector also can be available in the gateway because sometimes you want to accessing the data on-prem. Example, they say you have the data center, or maybe this is your the on-premises, right? And not so you have the server, which actually is SQL. So Power Platform actually is on this here, right? So you can connect actually is your local the data. In this case, we require the gateway, all right, to achieve the connection between the cloud, yeah, the solution, in this case, the Power Platform, and to your data actually is on premises, right? So Power Automate, definitely you can run on schedule. It can be on premises. It can be the cloud activity. So later part, we will share what it is means here. So because we can run actually by the set the timer, something that actually you can run those traditional running the apps on the Windows scheduler, right or not? Yeah, all right. So you also can be define your own template and then you can be shared out. Okay, Cole, I need your help, right? So basically we have a so-called a quiz to everyone here, all right? So I would like Ajis to help me Ajis to launch a small quiz to ask everyone here. Cole, can you help?
All right. So can everyone see the poll question in the window, in the Teams window?
No worry, the answer actually will be found, all right? What actually have been shared.
Right. So maybe BK, you can actually explain a little bit on the questions.
Okay. So I can't actually move maybe I just bring the whole thing here, right? How can the data source be used with the Power Automate here? So it can only connect to Microsoft data source such as the Office 365, right? So what does this mean here? Remember just now actually I explained, right? Whether actually is Power Automate, whether actually is Power Apps here, right? We want actually to connect the data. We require the connector, right or not? Yeah. So you can be only connect to Microsoft data source only. That is the answer number one. Of course, your actually string this is what actually have been run through with you. All right, can connect to data source using one of the 600 plus the pre-built connector, or you by building your own custom connector. And the last one require you to build a custom connector to access the external data. So what is your answer? Oh, can we see the result actually is written?
Yeah, let me see how can I extract the result.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will extract the result and put into the chat window later.
Yep.
Well, I think we have add response and all with the correct answer.
Wow. It's I think give everyone the grab, All right. So answer can be found here. Basically, when we say the preview the connector, let me just actually use to give everyone remember just now I said how can we actually open a Power Automate. Let me just switching edges to my browser. Let's give a while, right? So assumption here, everyone actually have the Office 365, right? Okay, they say you log into the office.com. Yeah, this is office.com, the URL. Okay, yeah, usually this actually I will ask everyone to click the 9 dot here, right? This 9 dot actually will be showing all the actually apps available for you actually to consume or to use here. So you will find out Power Automate is here, Power App is here. This is the last week actually we talk about the Power Apps here. Similarly, actually you want to access the Power Platform whatever the application here, right? Just come here to this nine dot. But here actually in the Microsoft term we call it app launchers, all right? So once actually you click the Power Automate, they will bring you actually to the Power Automate the page, right? This will be the home of the home page of the Power Automate here, all right? So remember just now we talked about the connector, yeah? So you can come here actually to see this is a connector here, right? So here say the 600 plus, basically I never count, all right? I never count. I would believe actually is Microsoft from time to time they will add, all right? So probably some of you actually will see we have the Premier, we have the others actually did not indicate. You probably will see some the preview as well here. So generally this is a connector again, right? As per last week actually we explained, it's like a bridge for you to connect to your data source, all right? So again, data source can be the SharePoint, can be actually is any available here, right? Generally, if a Microsoft those are connected with familiar like Outlook, SharePoint, OneDrive, and so on. Yeah. Remember just now I talked about the SQL, right? So it's another the connected type, right? But this thing actually we can wire the gateway lah. Okay. So that is the quick one just to show how you can be launched Power Automate. Yeah, and also to show you the way actually we can find the preview those connector here. Okay. All right, now let's jump to the second actually following the slide here, right? All right, so here we talk about what is their capability and business that benefit, right? Or not? Yeah. Earlier actually I say, right, we automating the repeating tasks, right? Or not? Yeah. We want to guiding the user through a process. So this is actually is another actually is a capability. When we say guiding user through a process here, right? One of the type actually is Power Automate, helping user streamline the process. Basically to guide the user, they will not miss the data entry or those are the steps when actually they want to perform the data capturing or data entry. Yeah. So this is one actually of the capability or benefit or features here. All right. We can connecting to the external data source. Yeah. Not only just actually is the Microsoft those the familiar the product like SharePoint, but also we can be external data source like SAP. Yeah. All kind of third party so long actually we have the connector. We can also use the Power Automate automating desktop base here. When we say a desktop base here, right, referring actually your local device like PC or laptop, you have the process actually in your the device you want to automate it. So we can use the Power Automate. Yep. Right. Okay, now. So since so, of course, actually that is the later part I will explain what is the three type of the Power Automate. Yeah, basically this is actually the capability here. All right. Okay, now, so we can actually to scale your automation very efficient. Yeah, because they will provide a few hundred, I will say also few thousand of the preview those template. So I always actually advise, right, whoever want to start the Power Automate, try to use the preview the template. Of course, when you actually do the advanced level or maybe expert level, right, you always also can build this automate actually from the scratch. But from the starting perspective here, right, always try to use the preview template. From the preview template, actually use it and customize it. All right, so this is the first one. Again, we say automate can across your the favorite apps here, all right, and services. 600 plus the connector. Yeah. Definitely actually integrate with all the Microsoft ecosystem. Let's say your the cloud, the application or cloud services actually, right? In the Azure, in the Microsoft 365 and the Dynamic 365 as well here. All right. So if you they say talk about the Dynamic 365, basically we are referred to the ERP plus the CRM. So this actually is a Microsoft ERP, Microsoft the CRM. Okay, and we also actually can accessing the on-prem, right? When we say on-prem data or on-prem, actually just now we talk about the desktop, the automation. So that actually also can be the integration between your on-prem and the cloud here. Okay, right now. So there are three types actually of the flow you can create with the Power Automate, right? So generally, actually, is most actually used is the cloud, the flow here. So flow build of the trigger to execute one or more action here. All right. So meaning actually is something actually to trigger it, then the run the action you are defined. Example, they say I want something actually to trigger me to run this action. Example, they say action is update the record into the SharePoint. All right. So remember we talked about this one of the capability just now, business process flow here. All right. So this one help you actually to streamline the process for those actually is the business user when they use the system. But business process actually is mainly would be the applicable on the modern driven apps and the data was here. Last week actually we covered the Power Apps. Basically, it's the Power Apps. We have the three types. One of the actually is Power App type. Actually, is modern driven apps here. All right. When actually we want to develop a modern driven apps, fundamental of the data source must be used. Actually, is the Dataverse lah. Old name is a CDS. All right, probably I'm not sure you guys heard about it or not, but full name actually is a Common Data Services. All right, and the last type actually of the Power Automate is the desktop flow. Previous actually name they call UI lah, user interface the flow, but we refer the same thing here, desktop flow here. Generally, maybe some of you actually heard about the RPA, right or not? Because this is the multiple, actually is a product, actually is on the RPA. So Power Automate Desktop Flow is one of the RPA. So again, this actually help you to, you just imagine there's something that video recording, what actually you perform on your desktop, right? The action, example, they say you open the Excel. So I recorded down, all right? After that, I just replay, I automate it, run it, all right? So this is a three type of the Power Automate actually available actually for you to use. All right. So before actually we have this quiz again, but let me actually show you how we can actually to create this three type of the flow where they are. Yeah. All right. So this come back actually to the Power Automate the page here. Right. So when you click the create, yeah. So here will show you this is the three type. Remember just now we said cloud flow. Here actually is the cloud flow, cloud flow, cloud flow. So basically this is the generally all is the cloud flow here. Okay. Yeah. And we have the desktop flow. Just now we talked about that. Yeah. So this is the one type. This is the second type. And now actually is the business process flow. But this is a new name actually is today called process actually is advisor. Basically just a recently changed. Yeah. All right. So that actually is that's why we still use the old name. Both those actually is maybe still familiar on the Power Automate. Regardless how. So today actually is our sharing is more on the cloud flow here. So we can later part actually also Li Fang will share with you what is the simple or example how actually we can create this automate the cloud flow here. All right. Okay. It's just a quick one. Yep, come back actually to our slide. All right, so I need Cole actually help again. Yeah, launch actually is the second question. Yeah, the question to everyone here.
This is the second section. This question has multiple answer. Right, you need to select 3 out of 4. Right. What are the 3 types of flow that you can create with Power Automate?
I also submit as well, Cole.
Yeah, let's share together. Wow, well done.
I think well done to everyone, yeah.
Let me paste the answer into the chat window. Wow, I think we have 14 response. All of them are correct.
Wow, all right.
Wow, amazing.
It's good, yeah. Okay. All right, now. Okay, I think that is a small quiz to everyone. Okay, now we have actually is the major key concept. Yeah, when actually when we actually want to create this Power Automate. So this is a fundamental we need to understand. All right. Okay, now The two key concept, the first one actually is a trigger. All right, just imagine here, right? When actually I want to run the Power Automate, I must something actually to trigger. When we say trigger here, right, we can actually refer to schedule. Example, something trigger you to wake up. So this trigger basically is your alarm clock. Example, your alarm clock actually set it actually 6 a.m. So this is one type of trigger schedule. We also another type of trigger example. This is something in the Power Automate here, right? I created record. So this also is the one trigger, right? Record has created. Then trigger the action to here, right? So when the trigger actually to here, then the action actually you can set accordingly. Example, they say, oh, when the in this example, email address into an inbox, basically it's a trigger right now. All right. So when the email address in your mailbox here, right, or inbox here, so the actually is the next action, or maybe copy this actually is the message, all right, or maybe actually this is the email content or attachment. Then I update it or created in the OneDrive. So this is one type of example. Let me show you actually where actually when I created this the Power Automate, so they have the multiple type of the trigger here, all right. Let me switching back actually to here, right? This is one of the actually when I create a blank, all right? So can you see that will be actually listed of the trigger. Example this when a new response is submitted, yeah. I mean in Microsoft form here, right? Multiple type when the task is assigned to me. Also another the trigger in this Microsoft the planner. When the new email address, they actually in the Gmail, many things. All right, this is the one the automate the trigger. Of course, you also can use the instant cloud the flow here. All right, I manually trigger. Yeah, I manually trigger. Example, I click this button. Or maybe I click the button I created in the Power Apps here. So many actually is trigger here. I can't show that everyone here. Last actually acknowledge that another the trigger is a schedule. So I may say schedule saying that hey, every day I want to 10 a.m. and repeat every minute or repeat every month and so on. So this actually is on the another type of the trigger here. So once I create a trigger here, right, then that actually is a remaining the action. Example, just now I say, oh, I schedule this cloud flow. So then actually I want to start create the email file. I want to start create a folder and so on. Yeah, right. So that is the key concept perspective here. When actually you want to create the Power Automate here. All right. So what is the benefit of the Power Automate? Yeah. So definitely business, there's one type of the Power Automate that is a business process flow. Today actually is called process advisor to reduce the time, right? Okay. And of course, also we want to transform it the repetitive process. Reduce your deviation from the standard business process. We know automation actually is always want to minimize the human error. We want to increase the visibility, the process, the history, email task, and the reminder. And of course, they allow you also to have the better the audit trail here, right? When actually you have when you run the Power Automate, actually they have a history for you to review. And the process, again, just now we talk about one type of the trigger is can be scheduled, right? Okay, this is the benefit. All right, now, so how to get the Power Automate? Earlier, actually, I have been showing you guys, actually, is that you can be click the 9 dot. Remember, there is a 9 dot, and then you select the Power Automate. It is appear from here. There is a one type. One of the method actually is how you run the Power Automate. Second, actually, you can type the URL directly. Another one, actually, if basic your guy have the OneDrive, SharePoint, and the Teams here. Let me just show you the quick one. Yep, how it looks like from the SharePoint perspective. All right. This I click the 9 dot here. Sorry, it looks actually it's not clicking. All right, no problem. Okay, example, I have the SharePoint here. All right. So you would find out actually is they say you have the list. Yeah, we call it the SharePoint list. Yeah. Or the OneDrive, you will find out that is integrate to here. So I can create a flow. Example, when you create a flow here, actually give you the some of that. Okay, that is a quick one. Yep. All right, now, so I mentioned earlier, actually, we should actually practice, use a Power Automate, a template. It can be actually allow you to create a faster and so on here, right? Right. I want actually to switch actually again to the Power Automate the web page here, right? Want to show that is the a few thousand actually of the template available. You just need to search it accordingly. All right, let me just switching back to the Power Automate. Let's go back to the click home here. All right. Looks actually is I'm not able to click. What happened? Okay. I think the mouse just now, I think got problem. Can you see, guys, see actually that template actually is here, right? They will be actually categorized by topics, share with me, remote work, and so on. Example, they say I interested, I interested actually to the email attachment, right? Example. So I just type the email, they will display all those actually is a template available, all right? So example, they say we want to say, let me just save the official email attachment to specify. Let's say show this example here. So when you click this template here, right, they will actually to redirect you. Make sure you have been connected, yeah, all right, and then you click continue here. So when you click the continue, they automatically actually to give you the Power Automate flow here. Remember just now we say about this the trigger. This is the trigger. The remaining all actually is the action. So this one actually here say one action or more action here, right? So basically it's a flow already, yeah. It's also your logic, your step, actually what you want to instruct when they say trigger the event, right? Example just now we said when the email actually is coming in. So what I need to do? So I may set the condition here, right? I expand it, yeah. All right, if this actually is an email from the let's say bklim at the outlook.com, right or not? Yep. Let's say that, yeah. Okay, so I match this. Oh, what I do, yeah. All right. When I match this actually bklim and from the email arriving here, right? If you yes, so I will actually check. Bklim this email actually contain the attachment. So I will save it into my OneDrive example. So I just put a simply here, yeah. They say this is the folder path here. It kind of like actually is also fill in the blank. So once you done already, then you just save it. All right, you just save it. I think that is one part actually I yet to fill in. Let me just a quick one. And this is under here. Right. So another actually is saying that if they say it's not from a bklim at the outlook.com, maybe I save it into the document folder. Then I save it. Right. So can you see this is how easy if you say use the template? Of course, the good advantage of the template here, right? You maybe find out this actually action I don't need it. Example, they say, I do not want actually is any no do the any action. I just delete it. So you still can come here to modify flow here, right? So that actually is the Power Automate template here, right? So they are free actually for you to use, yeah. Yeah, template are designed actually from a Microsoft. Of course, those community member contribute, right? And template may need to be the configure. Remember just now I'm trying to show you here, right? This is a default template, but it still allow you actually to change it, right? So that actually is always advised again actually for those new beginner actually start from a template. Yep. Right now, let's back again to the quiz. Yeah, code. We need you actually to launch the third quiz, the question here.
Okay. Third question. All right, here you go. The third question is about what is a key concept if email arriving in your inbox? Is it action? Is it output? Is it a trigger? Or is it a input?
So far, I see 9 response. Yeah, cool. Is it?
We have 9 response. About 90% is the correct answer.
So the answer, yeah, this time actually is I don't show actually is the slide, right or not? Right. So we have the many type of the trigger lah. All right. So as the question just now asked actually is when the email arrive, right or not. So this is the one of the trigger. Also many type of the trigger like schedule. Just now we talked about that. Yeah. We also can be manual trigger. Basically you as the we call human trigger lah, right or not. Yeah. Okay. Right. And cool. I think actually I still have the one more actually is a question, the poll the question. Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Before. Yeah.
You want to
Yes.
send out the last question?
Yes, please.
Okay. This is a very good question. Right. I think just now VK has showed a way to actually find those flow templates from the Microsoft portal.
All right. Let's see how many respond.
Oh, we had 8 respond and we have 12. And all of them are correct.
Okay, that is good. Yeah. All right. Almost, I think those are the answer actually is all correct. Yeah. All right. That's a good one. Okay. Now, next actually we want to, of course, remember just now I actually show you the flow designer here. All right. When you actually build the flow here, right? You can actually come here to modify, even actually to come and delete, even actually you can come to the add here. All right. They said you want to additional the step. So this one actually is advisable. Use the template here. Okay. All right. Now, the next actually I would like actually to continue what actually is the last week we have been done on the Power Apps here. All right. So I will actually is to get the Li Fang actually is the demo specialist. All right. Before actually we invite her actually to come up to demonstrate how actually is to create the Power Automate. So they actually just give you the whole idea. What it is actually is the learning objective for the Power Automate here. So it's mentioned here, right? Yeah, trigger a flow when actually record is created. So when the record created actually is the trigger, right or not? Yeah. So this trigger actually then also the flow will help you actually send the approval the request. Yeah. All right. Approval request definitely will be sent to the HOD in this case here. All right. And of course, once actually is what they call it, the HOD, right, approve it already, then also that the request, that the email also will send back to requested the approval, the status, and so on here. So to approve the so-called the Power Automate flow here, right, approval, you can be actually use the approval center. Usually they have the few type lah. One of the type actually is the email, web. Yeah, basically you also can go to web. You also can be via the Teams here. Okay. And of course, the one actually is the flow, actually is the approval, whether it's a yes or no. You always can come to the flow, the history to check here. All right. So in order to do that here, right, definitely actually Li Fang also the part will share with you how actually this actually is to trigger the Power Automate here. Okay. All right. So I will actually is pass actually to Li Fang to show how actually to create this the Power Automate approval. Yeah. To trigger this actually is a record update and also the notification action as well here. All right. Li Fang, over to you.
Okay, BK, thank you.
So, yep, all right.
Okay, continue with last week machine ordering apps. I can choose few coffee machines to do the comparison, right? Now I have another form, let user to choose the desired coffee machine. Then the coffee machine's name will be displayed on the right pane of the screen, as you see here. I have another field, allow user entering the approval email. It might be your immediate superior or HOD email address, and user can later on to enter some comments that he or she would like to attach in the order. Okay, so I put the comments in the comments box here. This machine is suit our needs, and then hit the submit button. Okay, now is the confirmation screen is showing machine details with a date and time of submission. And then click OK button, it will direct you back to the main menu. Okay, imagine after hit this app, the manager might want to automate this approval process and send confirmation email across the department. Power Automate is the best choice that able to achieve this purpose. For example, after add the approval action in the automate flow, you can create document approval that approve invoices or order or sales quotation. So you can also create a process approval flow that approve vacation requests, overtime work, or even travel plans. Okay. Now I show you my approval flow. Okay, here is an overview of the flow that I will create later on. First, when someone creates a machine ordering request in SharePoint list. Second, add the order request to the approval center and then email it to the approver. Third, send an email with the approval decision to the person who requests the order. Lastly, update the SharePoint online list with the approval decision comments. Next, I'm going to walk through how to automate tasks by using Automate. Let's see how I set the Automate flow by using Power Automate here. Sign in the Power Automate here, create, and pick build your own flow. So in this screen, Power Automate enables everyone to build automate process using the low-code drag and drop tools with hundreds of preview connectors, thousands of templates as BK said just now, as well as AI assistant. In order to fulfill the requirement of automation, you must have a trigger, class N, action. After that, you don't need to do any busy works later on. So I create my flow on the left pane. Choose a trigger to start the flow. Choose when an item is created. Okay. Okay. In this when an item is created card, select the site address, which is I will store these details in the SharePoint list. So I choose my SharePoint site address here. Choose my list, SharePoint list name, which is called machine order. Okay, now come with the trigger. Just now I click on new step to choose the operation, and then I type the approval in the choose an action search box here. Here I choose start and work for the approval. Action are the events that you want your flow to perform after the trigger start the flow. Now start configure the start and work for an approval card to suit your needs. This is approval will not move to the next action in the flow until all the necessary approvals taken place. As you see, I choose the approval type as approve or reject. I set the title. Assign to is the approval email. And requested is requested by . Actually, I can put in the details. Machine has been requested. I can put the machine name. You can see there is a dynamic content on the right hand side from add dynamic content. It's referred to the data producer from a trigger or an action. It let users select fields referenced from previous step and even write expression. So I save it. Next step, I will create a new step. Select the condition. Okay, in the condition card, there is two action. One is called if yes branch, and another one is called if no branch. In the condition, I will choose the outcome. When the outcome is equal to approval, then I will go to if yes branch. Inside the if yes branch, I will choose an action of operation. So this is a place that I would like to trigger the action to update the SharePoint list. So I call my SharePoint list from the site address. This is SharePoint list. And ID is a compulsory field. You will notice that there is the drop downs, the fields is actually retrieved from the SharePoint list field that you have. So that means that the price, request by, request date, that's all are your SharePoint list field. Okay. This one approval date, I put UTC now. This time I don't want to select the UTC, the timestamp from the dynamic content, so I type in the expression where is the formula is UTC now. It's very simple. So this is to capture the current timestamp. Okay, lastly, after update the item into the SharePoint, I will continue to add an action to send an email. In the to field, I will select requested by who, and following the subject. This is the place where you set the email message. So I type in the body, text message. Okay, now I'm going to test the flow. I go back to machine ordering apps, pick and choose some coffee machine. Okay, now I choose airport and then put some comment, hit the submit button. So my order is submit successfully. Now I go to my SharePoint list to check, see whether the data is actually insert or not. Scroll down. So there's my record here. Okay. After just now I set the flow when and SharePoint list is updated, then I will send an email to the approver. So when the approver receives the mail, he will go to his or her Outlook to check the message. The message, okay. The message is actually look like this. So just remember, just now we put the title and requested by who, and then following with the action, approve or reject. So the message is like this. Your manager will respond your email, then click the submit, saying that he is actually approved your order. Okay, when the HOD receive responder approval, then the requested will also receive the approved message. Saying that your machine order has been approved. Yes.
Hi, Li Fang. Just to let
Hi,
you
Robin.
know, another 10 minutes on the clock.
Okay, thank you. So your machine order has been approved. Okay. Go back now, go back to the automate screen. Now I will set if no action. We configure the action which is same in if yes branch condition. Okay. So this is a low code or no code to place a send email action without a single line of code or requiring data science skill. So send email from your accounts to one or more recipients. You can use a rich text editor to make the text bold, add color, and format the email similar the way that you do in the Outlook. The user can respond directly from Outlook email or even Microsoft Teams. Today I don't have the Microsoft team floor here, so if you guys interested, we may arrange the next section. Okay, do the same thing, update item, send email. So now I put the subject, sorry, your request was not approved. And then type in some message, your request also was not approved. All right. Okay. Okay, now I go to test the flow, but this time the flow checker actually tell me there is one error exists. So I've opened it up. Oh, there's machine name that is missing. So I put back the machine name. Okay, imagine this time your HOD actually is reject your request. So okay, now he select the reject and put in the message. Say sorry, your approval is not approved. Okay, and then he hit the submit. Okay, now the message, reject message is coming. Okay. Sorry, your request for what type of coffee machines and the detail, what details is not approved. Okay, so my demo is ended here. So now I pass back to BK. BK, hand over to you.
Thanks, Li Fang. I think that is a fantastic demo. Yeah. All right. I hope everyone actually can be get that the whole idea actually is what the Li Fang has the demo to you. Yeah, I think that is a wonderful demo. All right, just maybe actually to wrap up what actually is the Li Fang and I today actually showing that this the scenario. If you guys actually come back to the first day, actually we talk about this our scenario trying to demo to everyone here. So this is the first day actually what we're trying actually to build is a power apps here, all right? So content on the machine ordering. I believe actually Li Fang to show you actually is a submit button here, right? Basically the trigger the back end of this power automate here. So I thanks also to Li Fang. I think it show actually very the detail. She show actually is on the condition. If they say it's approved, if a yes, then go to this part, right? That is the first actually she try actually to show. After that, then she edit, modify again, right? To actually to continue the remaining actually is the no branches, right? If they say the approval is rejected. So generally you can see, right, today, what actually we're trying to demonstrate, the Power Automate here, right? What actually I earlier demonstrate is from a template. Whether actually is a template, whether actually is what Li Fang actually is created from the scratch. Yeah. So basically, two concepts we still cannot go away. So first thing actually must be trigger, right? And remaining all the this the action. So as I mentioned earlier, the action basically is the what you want to instruct, right? This process, how you want to perform, how you want to the step, what you want to this actually is the process actually is to action, right? Enough. So you define accordingly. So like Li Fang just show you, actually just update the item and the same email. You probably see from my screen here, I also got post the message on the Teams. Depend actually is the organization, how they want to collaborate, right or not. But generally, you can see the whole thing here actually is the everything we define the Power Automate, they can approve via the email. Of course, we can't able to show you guys actually is from a mobile perspective. They say, remember we say the approval the center, right? I mean, due to time limit as well here. If they say your HOD also install the Power Automate here, right? They also can through the this way edges to approve. So generally, you can see, right, from this actually features here, right? Every user from the Power Platform, right? It can be actually used from the whether actually from the portal, whether actually from a web, whether actually from a mobile, whether actually from the desktop and laptop as well here. This also is conclude actually is today our demo. Yeah, all right. Okay, of course, the next week actually that actually will be the series number 3. We talk about the AI, we talk about this. But this is the whole actually is the end-to-end scenario we try actually to stimulate to everyone here. All right. Is there any the question actually is you guys would like to raise to ask? Yeah.
Hi, BK. I have one question.
Yes.
I encounter one issue for the automate flow. It's
Yep.
able to test it when you finish the flow, right? We can test it, right? But
Yes.
it's not for the instant. The instant flow seems like there's no way to test, right?
Instant actually you depend actually the instant they say you using the manual or not. Yeah. I mean actually it's manual, right? Basically you need to run it, test it at the power of the automate. Yeah, or you can do the mobile. Yeah. Basically it's kind of like a button. Yeah.
Okay.
Is
okay,
that answer
understand.
your question?
Actually no, because I don't have any idea. Because right now when you run the flow, the test flow for the instant one, seems like you can't get. Although use the flow checker, it don't have any error, but the result is not what we want. So then, just wonder, is there any way to look at it, like the automated? You can see that when it reach to which
Yep.
flow, it will stop, right? You say that what's the error, right?
Yeah. That actually you checking from a history perspective. I believe so. This is how you check, right or not? I think that's a quick one. Basically, just come back to here, right? Your my flow, right? Let me just click the my flow. So basically, you will be have those at the flow. Yeah. Let me just clear this. So example, they say come to this machine ordering here, right? So this is we call it the automate the management portal here. I think this is what actually you refer here, the history, right or not?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, this is the history. Those actually probably is a new here, right? What actually Alfred here saying that actually is the history. So whatever those are the flow actually running, whether it's a fail, whether actually it's a success, you can always come here to verify. Example, in this case here, right? I think Alfred, your question actually is I come here, then actually I have the error. So your question actually is not showing kind of where actually the stock, right or not? Yeah, like this example here actually is showing this is the fail here lah. Yeah. But did you actually see the all this thing or not? Or the history?
No, for the instant.
Okay.
But it's okay, it's okay. Just wonder how.
But no
how
worry.
to-
I think I think I can help you. They say we have they say it's offline. I can check on that. Yeah. All right. Basically, I have the multiple the flow. Like this example, actually, I'm using the instant. Yeah. I'm using the instant here. Okay. So when you say the instant here, basically, like I think you are referring on this text here.
correct,
Like you not
correct.
run, right, Anna? Yeah.
My one is gray out.
Ah, okay. Then we might need to see what actually is the trigger or what is the action and so on. Yeah.
Okay, it's okay.
Okay.
Maybe I'll text you or offline.
Yep.
Yeah,
All
thanks
right.
for that. Thank you.
Thanks. I think that is good question. Others? All right. No worry. If they say you have any question, I think the code, I think this is the text space. I chat window still allow them actually to post, right? So just post the question actually to us. I can try actually to help. They say you have any issue or not. Yeah. And definitely, I hope today the section. Hope everyone enjoy it lah. Yeah. So you want to wrap up this?
All right, thank you. Thanks, PK and Li Fang, for the questioning today about the Power Automate and how we can actually use the flow, use the trigger to actually automate our certain process. Right? And there's a feedback form actually placed into the chat window. But feel free to share your feedback to us. And we will see you again next week, right, for more sharing from the Power Platform. All right. Good night and see you again.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Good night.
Thanks. Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks.